very much, Kun Jakapon, for the question. I want to recognize, first of all, the kind invitation of Mahidol University, Dr. Kitikon, and I want to recognize also the importance of this initiative, right? ESCAP is the United Nations ESCAP, so we are the Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. We are one of the 5 regional commissions of the United Nations. The United Nations works at the global level, and then we also work at the regional level, so there are 5 global regions, and we cover Asia and the Pacific. It means that we have more than 50 member states. We span from Turkey all the way to Samoa. So it's a very diverse region, many different countries, and we provide different kinds of support to all of these countries, working with these countries as a group across the region, but also working within groups of countries, for example, with ASEAN or with other groups in the other sub-regions. And we also work at the national level with countries and then with particular stakeholders, as we are doing now. So if we think about this topic of carbon neutrality, it's something that we have to think about as a whole of society mission. We need a strong mission orientation. It means that the whole society needs to be engaged. It also means that when we look at the policy cycle, the way that the government does its business, from agenda setting to policy formulation to implementation through legislation, etc., and then final impact and monitoring, we need to have activity across this whole policy cycle. And ESCAP does that. So we have 4 main areas of functions. And the first is intergovernmental. So as an example, we bring countries together to discuss common issues. So as far back as 2005, we worked with countries to develop a ministerial declaration and an action plan on greening of economic growth. So if you think about it, this is 20 years ago, right? And this has been a very important part of our advocacy work, and it has been an important part of the support we have provided to the countries. So many countries in Asia and the Pacific, if you look across the policies, have national green growth strategies, including Thailand at some point. And countries still have these strategies. Very important. So this is one example of the role that we play. Another example is that we follow the SDG agenda. So all of you should know about the Sustainable Development Goals. We bring countries together and stakeholders together to review the progress on the SDGs and see where we are and see where we need to go next. So this is another part of our work in the intergovernmental area. The second area of work is around technical assistance. So we provide technical assistance to countries in setting their targets for the nationally determined contributions. This is all terminology we have to become familiar with. So it's about the national agenda for climate action. So we work with countries to help them set the targets that are impactful and realistic and ambitious, right, and technically well supported and supported by good policies and good implementation planning. And we work with other agencies in doing that as well. The third area of work that we support is capacity building. So if you can imagine, when we talk about carbon neutrality, we have to have new ways of accounting. So not just counting money anymore, we are counting carbon, right? We are changing our methodologies, our frameworks, our relationships with each other, our institutions. We have new institutions that need to be established. So we provide technical assistance to countries in that way, as well as I mentioned, capacity building. So we have greenhouse gas emissions training for countries. We help countries learn from each other. And the final one is on research and analysis. Okay, really, really important, because the climate agenda, it's a very integrated agenda. So we need new kinds of analysis, new kinds of economic models even, and we produce reports which help countries see how their agenda and how their performance rates against other countries, right? So in a sense, I don't want to say creating a competition, but maybe more inspiration, right? Among countries so that they can do better. So I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kun Hitomi. So talking about agenda, I think everybody knows Thailand have agendas as well. 2050, we're going to be carbon neutrality, right? And 2065, net zero.